Morning, everybody. I'm Luke Sullivan with Transwest Truck Trailer RV up here in Frederick, Colorado, right off Interstate 25 over there. You can't miss us. We have a ton of inventory on the lot. We're in the thick of summer now, and we're seeing tons of trades come in. So behind me today is another example of some of our used inventory. 99.9% of our used inventory comes in via trade. So behind me today is a very unique little trailer. We built it out as a new trailer. It is a 2022 Cimarron Winstar, but it's built out stock sides on the hip, drop windows on the head. We'll see those. It is a 3-horse configuration, and as you can see over my shoulder, it is a huge tack. So we've got double doors there, saddle racks and blanket poles on both sides. We'll get into the middle of that here very shortly, but right away, very well optioned out trailer. So first and foremost, the biggest one we'll talk about is this is an air ride trailer. We're on a Dexter Torsion 7K axle system here. This is your integrated compressor system. So it's as simple as an on-off switch that'll fire up your compressor, and then you have a lower and a raise valve. It's a set it and a forget it. Turn it on, it'll maintain a pressure around 120, 140 PSI. And then when you're loading, when you're unloading, all of that, whether you're loading up the tack room, certainly you're gonna see about 3 to 4 inches of raise or lift out of these air rides when they're inflated. So lower it down makes your ramps a little less steep, makes your step up into the back or into the tack room a little less high, and makes life a lot easier. There is an air dump underneath our air system here as well, so that we can drain that air out of the system in a Schrader valve if you ever need to fill up. Now, this trailer is a 2022 model, so you're still going to be equipped with the same style axles that we put on our trailers today. And what that means for us, first and foremost, in the air ride world, if we ever have a dead battery, if we ever have a blown airbag or a leaky airline, we are never going to be dead in the water. So they always default. They are always, it's a modified torsion axle is the best way to describe it. So in theory, you could run the life of the trailer without your air system inflated and not do any harm to your axles, your tires, your suspension, or anything like that. Obviously, with an air ride system, we would suggest fixing it so that you don't do undue wear to the other portions of the system. But again, really nice system, and the air ride sells itself the first time you drive one, the first time you ride in the back. If you ever talk to a semi driver, they know exactly where that air ride system, what it's all about and what it can do for you down the road. Another big add-on on this trailer is an electric over hydraulic jack. These are a great system, same system we're still putting on our trailers today. So again, if we ever have a dead battery or something, we leave a light on. It happens. We have a real easy fail-safe to get this off. It is as easy as pumping a floor jack in our shop to change a tire on a car. And we can raise or lower this with a twist of a valve over there. So if we need to get unhooked in an emergency, or if we need to get hooked up in some kind of emergency, you have that option. Now, below our battery box here is a customer added option, but a really cool little option that he added to maintain and trickle charge his batteries. Obviously, it's tucked under here under the gooseneck, and he self-admittedly said it's not getting the full force of the sunlight, obviously, down here, but it is trickle charging our 2 deep cycle batteries. These are running our air ride. These are running our electric over hydraulic jack. And they are also, even when we're not hooked up to a truck, we can run all of our interior lights and our floodlights in this. So nice way to trickle charge that. There is a little maintainer and control panel there on the passenger side, on the right side of the box as well. And then equipped from Cimarron and Transwest is a battery disconnect. So our suggestion, whether you're leaving your trailer overnight or you are leaving it for the season and shut it up, switch that disconnect off. It's real easy, especially with all the lights and LEDs that we have on this trailer, to leave one of those on and kill a battery. So nice to be able just to ensure everything's cut off with that flipped off. Excuse me. We're going in a little reverse order today. We're a standard 7-pin connection, big heavy duty safety chains, 2 and 5/16" coupler as well. Please, even with your gooseneck trailers, folks, always use your safety chains. And then we do have a coiled breakaway cable over there as well for our breakaway brakes. One thing you'll have to know about coming with Transwest, buying used from us, we go through all of these systems, whether it's that breakaway battery and that 12-volt system, whether it's the chains or the 7-pin connection. They're going to go through all of those connections, all of the functions and safety aspects of the trailer, whether it's lights, whether it's brakes and bearings, etc., etc. So, coolest part about this trailer, aside from being an air ride trailer, which is one of my favorite pieces of it, is this tack room. We've got double Dutch doors, probably a 70-30 or a 60-40 split on them. We've got the one towards the back that's a little bit smaller, but first and foremost on the doors, you can see we got a lot going on. We've got a swing away saddle pad holder there for us, and then just below that, nice little brush box. We do have, you'll see the box for our combo lock in here. We'll show that to you in a second. But partitioned out, couple little drain holes in there because we all know we're going to put some fly spray show sheen in there that'll spill. Nice to load these up and swing these away. If you're spending the day at the show and you've already had some go through the ring and you want to dry some out, nice to be able to do that as well. And then here on our other door, tons of options with this. So first and foremost, I love this shelf down here. Just added space, added way to keep yourself a little bit organized, fully carpeted, and it's got a nice little lip down there too. So within reason, stuff is going to try and stay contained inside of there. And then the way that this post and rail is set up is that we can move these racks anywhere we want. If we want to move all of these real close together and stack them up high, if we want to bring a couple down a little bit lower, we can do that. And it's the same system Cimarron's still using today. So if you want to add another, if you think you can squeeze a fifth on there, we could certainly try and help you do that. We carry these in our parts department. Or if you want to pull a couple of these off and add a couple more of those saddle poles similar to on the door over there, but just on a post style, we can do that for you too. We carry those parts in stock in our parts department, and they're a really easy add-on for some of these. And really just the versatility with both of these doors and all the storage we have before we've even made our way inside. A lot going on. And then second to that, you'll see we do steps on a lot of our tack rooms on our Cimarrons, and obviously if we're having this big way in, doubled up on those, and you've got a really nice threshold into the trailer, an easy step up into here. And we are a rubber matted floor in the tack room. Real easy to pull these mats out, clean things out and sweep it out and keep clean. But I mean, I don't have a huge wingspan, but there is a lot of space on here. Overall on the trailer, I think we're about 20 feet on the floor. We're probably about 4 on this short wall behind me back here, and then extend out to at least 6 or 8 on this long wall as well. And what helps with that, we have a lot deeper boot box than standard on a lot of trailers. Typically we're at that 12-inch mark. This is a lot deeper, and we've gone full width as well. So you've got a lot of storage in there. Real easy to fit some 5-gallon buckets in there, probably some small totes. However you want to keep yourself organized, you have that ability. And then we didn't really talk about it on the outside, but this is a V-nose gooseneck trailer, so a lot more efficiency out of those. Definitely going to cut through the air a little bit smoother. Just a little bit less space than you would have with the normal tapered nose. But still a blank slate up here. You can fit a lot of stuff up here, and you will see up on the passenger side there, that's our tray for all our plexi panels on our hip side. So real easy to pull those out, real easy to throw those in a barn and get them lost or trampled or thrown up in a loft and forgotten about completely. So really nice to be able to stow them in your trailer if you're traveling cross country or something and you encounter some inclement weather. Nice to be able to throw them back in and have them organized, and just they're always with the trailer as you need them. You will see different generation of the OptiBrite LEDs that are inside the trailer, but still LEDs, so going to be a really low power draw on those. Again, with those deep cycle batteries that we've got, we can run these for a long time trouble-free with the LED power draw that we're going to have on these low power draw. So, and then big extended shelf here. So same as our little shelf in the door, but we've got a lip here. It is rubber matted as well, so gonna keep things a little bit of a nicer ride in there. And then just below that, we've got, from the length of the shelf, a really nice hanging rod here too. So name of the game in this trailer, I really think, is storage and trying to stay organized and keep maybe the clutter down a little bit. And this is a great way to get all of that stuff, whether you've got hanging bags full of clothes for your hotel where you're staying for the weekend, or you've got all your show coats you want to keep with you in easy access. You can get all that stuff out of your truck and make a big difference and keep things a little bit cleaner for your riders or your co-pilots in your vehicle with you, and get it back here hanging around in the back. So we'll talk real quickly about running gear. Obviously this is a full-size matching spare. These are 19.5s, aluminum wheels. Full-size matching spare, like I said. We'll talk a little bit about running gear when we get outside as well, but nice to have that full-size matching spare. If you ever have a blowout, you're gone your way to the show, you always want to look your best, but you're not going to get that chance to swap it out. And then with the aluminum, with the wheels stored inside our tack room like this too, we're not going to have that old steel wheel that we've all had hiding under our gooseneck for emergencies only. That's going to look pretty ugly going down the road. So nice to have that stored in here. Nice to keep it out of the weather, and especially on these goosenecks from right behind our wheels of our truck. So fully carpeted partition wall here. A lot of different reasons we do that. First and foremost, you see tons of hanging hooks on this wall. So we've all seen the used trailers going down the road that have had all our headgear, our halters, and our bits and stuff marking up our bare metal, our aluminum, our steel, whatever kind of trailer we have, even the painted ones. So first and foremost, this trailer's got a couple years on it. It is a used trailer. We don't see any of that marking anymore. Secondarily to that, really nice sound deadener. Right on the other side of this wall, and we get to show you that with this pass-through, we'll get to that in a second, but right on the other side of this wall is where our horses are riding. So we can really deaden that sound quite a bit in comparison to just that bare metal wall. And you consider that you have all these metal bits hanging on there, whether it's your halters, whether it's your bridles, and all that clanging and banging it's doing. We know we've found all our stuff on the floor before, so we know it's bouncing around a lot. We're gonna keep that a lot quieter for our horses. Speaking of, still doing the same style hook. The bridle hooks are these hanging hooks that Cimarron's using. They're really deep, they're really tall, and they're really stout. I can nearly hang off of them. They don't deform at all. And like we said, you're not finding all that stuff floating around on the floor anymore after you've bounced down the road a little bit. And then one more unique build aspect of this trailer is this pass-through doors too. So you've got straight access into your horse area. Whether you're gonna leave this front stall empty most of the time and you want to be able to have that access to check on them on the road, or you're just kind of using it as a pass-through, or maybe you're camping out of the trailer and you want to use that as a mudroom, you have that option as well. Customer added, obviously, a little bonus lock there as well for you, but still gonna have your bower locks with the deadbolt there as well whenever we share that kind of space with our horses. Wasted space in all these trailers, especially the slant loads, is this little corner back here. So tucked in there, just like we're doing in a lot of our new inventory still, is a 28-gallon High Country Plastics water tank. Nice to be able to bring some water from home, whether you're trail riding to a trailhead that doesn't have water access, whether you're going to a show in the off season and they've turned the water off on you, or you're on a cross-country trip and you don't want to look for it at a gas station. Nice to be able to bring some from home and have that option, especially if you got 3 horses with you. We've been hot the last week. We're getting a break today, but it's going to be hot again soon. So nice to be able to keep your horses hydrated and always have a bit of access and never be scrambling looking for it on the road, especially on that pedestal down there too, so we can really easily throw a 5-gallon bucket down there and fill it up. And then still hasn't been used, doesn't look like, still wire tied up the same from factory, is our little 10-footer hose that we include as well. So if you want to run it outside the tack room, you have that ability too. So again, this tack room is certainly the best part of this trailer. You've got a ton of storage in here. You have a lot of space. It's really versatile, whether you're bringing in some big stand-up trunks or you're loading up all these saddle racks and all the storage space that you already have in here. You have a lot of options, and again, very well lit as well. No tricks. We have our battery box just for the running lights. Even not hooked to a trailer, we can run all these LEDs as it sits here. So we'll close it up for you real quick just to give you a kind of side profile. Spring loaded on this side, just the latches are hidden behind that. And then we'll talk real quick. We do have a combo lock on this. So really nice to be able to lock these up. If you're at a show, if you're a trainer and you've got some students you want to send down to the trailer and you don't want to give them the keys, or you're just afraid of losing that set of keys, you can real easily set a combo for you. Even on these used trailers, if you want to make it unique to yourself, we can change that out for you and lock it up tight, and you have that ability to stay secure. So, Winstar model, comes stock side. uniquely built out with the drop windows on hip side, but we've got our very typical that we see in our Lone Stars and our Steer Waltz, our plexi panels. So we've got a high and a low air gap. And just like they do in all of our plexi panels, there's no hardware, there's no panel to remove. We don't need any tools, just a couple callous fingers or even a small pocket knife. Pry this out of that little cut relief right there, and we can slide all these panels out. We would very much suggest keeping track of them. Name the lower ones A and the higher one B, either way, vice versa, and then number them. It'll make life a little bit easier in the fall when you're rushing maybe one snowy early day in the winter to get those back in. But again, pop those out really easily, and then like we talked about, you've got that storage tray up front to keep track of them. Got a couple tie rings here, and just above our tie rings we have an LED awning light. Really nice here. Right behind us is our tack room. Really nice, easy spot to tack up, whether it's early mornings, late nights. We've all been in the dark, whether it's untacking or getting tacked up and ready for the day. So real quick, let's talk about axles. We are 7K Dexter Torsions axles. We hinted a little bit. Dexter air ride with the Torflex option. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied, but we're an air ride system that defaults into a torsion axle system if you ever have an issue. So the air ride, again, like we said, fully self-contained up there in our battery box. It's gonna set its own pressure. It's gonna stay level. It's got a leveling valve in it. And then again, like we said, you're gonna see a 3 to 4 inch lift out of this when it's aired up. We left it a little aired down so you could see how easy we can get it in and out of the tack and how low our step is getting into the stock area as well. So we'll work our way around to the back of the trailer now. We've got a couple different options on here. You'll notice all our running lights are still the LED button lights. One big difference that was the biggest change Cimarron's done recently is they integrated a reverse light into the tail lights, but we're still running LEDs all around. We've got a couple LED 8-inch awning lights above each door here, and we're a full 50-50 split on these. Both are equipped with some plexi panels that we can pop out of there and get a bit more airflow out of these trailers. And both are equipped with some nice holdbacks. If we've got some windy days, we can do that as well. And then you will see rubber matting, kick mat on all of our doors, our front and our kick walls as well. So got a lot going on inside of here, not quite your standard uprights inside. And then standard on every Cimarron that we see going down the road is our aluminum floor with the rubber mats over that as well. So Cimarron, no change in their flooring material. It is still a 4-inch on center V-truss construction with the aluminum floor. With the rubber mats, our suggestion is once a year, pull those out. Good housekeeping. Don't let any wet urine soak shavings. That's your enemy, is really the urine and the acidity in that. After you wash them out, our suggestion, throw a little baking soda on top of that, help counteract that. Now, if you don't want to mess with rubber mats anymore, we have a vendor down the road that will install Worm for us. And Worm is what it stands for. We eliminate rubber mats. Pull your mats out. They do a deep clean on these and a deep prep on these floors. And then Worm is a non-porous rubberized flooring. So pours in kind of like hot asphalt, maybe a little bit like concrete in a liquid form, and they trowel it smooth throughout. And again, like I said, non-porous. So it's nothing will ever penetrate down to your aluminum floor. Our suggestion is once a year when you're doing your typical maintenance to brakes and bearings, have a look at the underside of your floor. But the idea behind the Worm is it permanently protects your floor from the top side at least. Cimarron does a great job with their slam latches. So first and foremost, it's a metal on plastic connection. So that does two things for us. Really helps with the wear that we've seen on those metal on metal connections, we all know. But secondly too, just like the carpet, it's a great sound deadener too. So these trailers ride a lot quieter than they have in the past, especially with those metal on metal banging on each other. Just two partial partitions in this guy. They both are spring loaded. We've got a little bit of lean to the passenger side, and they're doing a nice job. Hold themselves over there as much as they can. Really nice though. We've all walked in here. You got to have one hand on the horse. You can't be too concerned about getting partitions out of your way, especially if you've got a spicy one getting in here. But like we talked about, rubber mats throughout, really nice on the kick walls. And then we've got them on this partition wall as well, where we share that pass-through door. So again, nice access. If you're camping out of your trailer for a long weekend or something like that and want to use this as a place to kick off your muddy boots, we got a ton of rain last night. I certainly wouldn't want to track it into that nice tack room. So you have that ability with that nice pass-through. If you want to hang a couple bridles or halters there that are easy access for you too, you have that ability. So head side of the Winstar is a little unique than most, but we do have drop windows with our jail bars. So we'll talk a lot about those and drop those down when we get outside. But summertime, hot days, you can move a lot of air through those trailers, these trailers. Up above our windows there, we do have a couple tie rings. Really nice. Tie your horse's head, tie a hay rack there as well, or a hay net, and you have some versatility with both of those as well. And then standard in our Cimarrons that you will see above me, insulated roof. So we're gonna be a lot cooler inside this trailer. We see a 10 or a 15 degree difference between an aluminum roof trailer and these Cimarron insulated roofs. Between our drop windows and getting our plexi panels pulled out of this trailer, we can move a lot of air through here. We do have some OptiBright LEDs. I obviously missed the switch, but we've got one behind each horse, so we can really shed a lot of light in here and turn night into day inside of these trailers. We'll get these 50/50s closed back up. We are a step-up trailer, obviously. We're 6'9" wide, 7'1" tall. But back to the step-up aspect, if you see a trailer on Transwest lot, especially a Cimarron, and you want to add a ramp to it, if you want to take a ramp off of it, they're just not your cup of tea or your horse's cup of tea, we can do that for you. We can very easily get factory parts, and we've got a couple techs in the back that'll make it look like it was a factory add-on, not an add-on, that it came from the factory that way. So really nice option to be able to do some more add-ons for you. We're certainly talking about a lot of the different unique aspects of this build of Cimarron, but we can also do a lot of that stuff after the fact for you here at Transwest. One last thing about this trailer before we get around to the side of it. Up high, and we get a lot of questions. We do a lot of these trailers that get sold locally this way, but we have a wing on the back of it. And it's not for down pressure in the corners or anything like that. The number one thing it does for us out here is we're on dirt roads. A ton of us all live on dirt roads, especially if you have any kind of property or livestock or horses. This keeps the back of our trailers really, really, really clean. We've all seen those box trucks that are going down the road and putting tons of miles on the road, especially the UPS delivery guys that are on those gravel roads and dirt roads, and you can't even tell it's a UPS truck from the back. All you just see is the color of the clay wherever you live, or the dirt wherever you live. So this keeps things really clean, keeps a lot of that stuff from working its way inside in those plexi panels or in that door gap as well. So that's a unique thing that a lot of people ask us, especially that aren't from around here, and it makes a big difference and is well worth the added couple of bucks to add that on if you're building a trailer. So we'll get to driver's side. We've talked about these drop windows quite a bit, and we can move a lot of air with these. Obviously they're huge, and when you open them, there are no restrictions other than our little jail bars to keep everybody's head inside while we're traveling down the road. But you get all three of these wide open, and you get your plexi panels out of your rear doors and your hip side, and you get a lot of airflow through these trailers. We've, like I said, had some hot days, so if you're traveling down the road, you certainly want to have these open. If you're at a stop, if you're getting ready to unload at a show, certainly really nice to be able to drop these down, offer some water, offer a little more hay, or get some lead shanks clipped on as we're loading or unloading. No hardware, no mechanism or anything like that in the Cimarrons. They just drop right in and out of that track. Just raise and lower the drop window a little bit, and then you can close them right back up. So winter time, I'm thinking happy thoughts. I'm not a big summer fan myself. Winter time, we can obviously close these up, and we've got some bus windows here. that we can regulate a bit of air. Even if you had 3 in this trailer on a 20-degree day, you could build up a lot of warmth in there. So you want to move some fresh air through these trailers a little bit still. So you've got those bus windows, and then everything on these trailers too are completely lockable. So you get a master set of keys for the trailer. We talked about the combo lock for the tack room, but if you have a couple extra bigger trunks and you're staying at a hotel or something and you want to throw them in the horse area, you can get those locked up as well. Same as the driver's side, same as passenger side. We've got a couple tie rings and an awning light above us. Whether parking doesn't allow or we need to separate a couple of our horses, we've got some options to tie some of our guys over here too as well if we need to. And then another good look at our air ride suspension on those 19.5s. Really heavy duty suspension. On these smaller trailers, always an option. A lot of customers ask, I'd love a 3-horse, but all of your inventory is typically built out with just tours and axles. Really great example of what we can do with Cimarron and how we can custom build. It doesn't have to be a huge LQ to add some custom touches to it. We can even do it on the smaller compact trailers. So great runaround, really nice Winstar behind me. If you have any questions about any of our other used inventory, our new inventory, please feel free to reach out. My email's down below, luke.sullivan@transwest.com. You can call or text me, 859-509-1282. If you have questions specifically about this trailer, we've got build sheets. Like I said, we built it new. We've got build sheets and specs and drawings and everything like that. Please feel free to reference it and I can get those for you. Its stock number is 5U250503. Thanks for your time today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed looking at some of our used inventory. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. También hablo español.